Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Monday Night Madness here we do with our DJs hanging out each and every single Monday night. And I hope you guys are having a good time. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in live. We appreciate that. And remember that the entire night, you can ask questions in the chat. If you are on some sort of mobile device, you will probably have to hit a little thing that has a pop-up or a drop-down so that you can join the chat. But if you're on YouTube, you can just join straight in, and we want to hear your questions. We have some topics that we're going to go over tonight, but we definitely want to hear what you have to say. So that's it. John is going to be joining us back here in a minute. He had some stuff going on with his family that he is taking care of, because that is what's important. And we're just going to keep going on, and he said he'll join us in about a half an hour or so. So we are going to say hello to everybody. We're going to start all the way up north in Canada. Anthony, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Who else? We're gonna my Pennsylvania friend.
I guess that's me. Hi.
Yeah, you changed your name just like I changed mine.
Yeah, screw it. I was wondering how long it'd take till you saw it.
I have 12 things going on here at once. So, anyways, we have Mike. It's back here joining us again. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
And Jeremy has his mic muted, so we want to get him to say hello.
Yeah, I want to figure out how to change my name. That's awesome.
We'll have to do that one of these weeks. In fact, that is a topic that's coming up here in a few weeks. If you had, and I'll bring it up now, but we're going to go down the road. If you had an alter ego DJ, what would your alter ego DJ's name be? So,
well, the formerly known. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. And finally, the girl. Okay, now moving on to the top topic here.
I think my name is just going to be the girl.
The girl.
So that's who we're offending tonight is the women. Okay.
Oh, great! Just what I need to offend more women in this world.
Well, what happens when Stacy's on? Then we have problems,
Well, she's not the girl.
I see.
The lady. She can be the lady. How's
Got
that?
it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have to have someone else be the chick.
Right. Then you got the chick, and then
I'll be the chick.
I think I've seen pictures of that.
Wow.
There was sometime in Vegas or something, right?
There's a showgirl out there, big hat, feathers.
What happens?
Apparently, what happens there does not stay in Vegas.
Not always.
What happens in Vegas goes on people's cell phones.
Yeah.
They say what happens in Vegas, we discuss heavily and in detail.
So back on track, Mike.
Back on track, and Anthony is messaging me. He's on the chat. He's messaging me. Anyways, all right, we have a few topics this week. We're going to try to chatter through them as quickly as I can, and I want to bring this one up. I saw it last week, and I thought it was kind of amazing, and it is part of the amazing stuff that changes our world with the new technology as DJs and stuff like that. I mean, we really have seen a complete turnaround of our jobs as DJs over the years, and music itself. And when I used to work in the other side of the music industry as a performer, that was one of the things. It was right at the era of the internet where people, where you no longer had to carry around, a demo tape. You could just drop, MP3s, which was unheard of, and people were starting to buy MP3s as opposed to CDs. And one of the things that's changed is stuff has been put in the people's hands so that they have power. And this one is, I would almost call it abuse of power, okay? There is a petition online signed by people, and I'll read you information about it here in a bit, that is to keep Phil Collins from having a musical comeback.
Who cares?
Now, for half the people out there...
Sorry.
Now, for half the people out there, and I'm sure Anthony is one of them, is asking, who is Phil Collins?
Yeah. But why do we care? I mean, ticket sales will keep him in or out of the stages.
I mean, Miley Cyrus is still performing.
Yeah, so is Cher, Vogue, Madonna Girl. It goes on and on and on. So who cares?
I'm wondering if we can exchange Justin Bieber for Tupac. Can we make that exchange somehow?
If you can, you're better connected than I. Yeah, I mean, really? I mean, who cares whether Phil Collins? Why would you want to start a petition?
Wait till you hear what they had to say. Yeah, wait till you hear.
All right.
This I got to hear. That's going to be
share it.
The wording exactly is this. Okay, for those of you who don't know, go look up Phil Collins. He was in a couple of incredible bands, in an absolutely incredible solo career. just to see the man sing and drum at the same time is a skill that I think is amazing. But last month, Phil Collins announced his initial return to the music industry. He had a 4-year retirement that he hadn't done anything. He kind of took a break there. And his plans included to bring some of his archive music back out. He was actually planning a world tour. He still is. I mean, this petition has nothing to do. It's not stopping him, but people are trying to. And he's going to do a studio album. But people have started a petition, and it is demanding that Phil Collins must stop. And their argument for this is, and I'm quoting from the petition, "There is far too much suffering in the world as it is."
My goodness. All right, look, let me show you something.
It gets better.
Wait, you see, wait. You see this book, Top 40 Hits, and it ended in 2003. It's very thick, and according to this book, Phil Collins, on his own, not through Genesis or anybody else, has 21 number one hits as of 2003. You think whoever wrote this petition, come on. Yes, really.
The word
21 number one hits, and some idiot in their basement wants to write a petition.
It gets better. Wait till you hear the rest of this. In this day and age, we must take our lesson from history and say no. There is no excuse. And I want to paraphrase the paragraph that came before this, where they were comparing that through the people's power, they literally said, we stopped Hitler, and they went on and named other bad people in this paragraph prior to this. And it said, there's no excuse for it. We are enlightened and educated, and we will not have it. We must rise up. Songs like She's an Easy Lover, Will Take a Hold on You, Believe It. This affliction is back. Run while you can still save yourself.
I mean, I don't find they're comparing him to Hitler.
Really? Yeah. Exactly.
Because they said
no doubt.
Saying we stopped Henry the whatever king, and we stopped this, and we outed Margaret Thatcher. So apparently, it's coming from England.
I would be willing to bet you whoever we wrote this wasn't even born then. Okay.
I
No.
bet whoever wrote this, it lives in a basement.
So let me ask a question. Why are we giving them even more 15 minutes of fame?
Because I look at it as, like I said, the power of the internet age. This is where we're at. This is the people who we are in contact with in the music world, whether it be online or in person. This is our world. And this is where I want to say, as of November 7th, there was over 3,000 people signed that petition.
But with 2 different things I think we have going on here. First off, I think the people writing it, if this is legit, putting behind it, not just a big joke to see who can get people to sign it. If this is legit, I mean, one of the things that we do have to consider as an industry is what they call the entitlement age. I mean, we've all seen it where some people might call it the bridezilla and different things like that. But we have clients who have this mentality that, I deserve it because I'm me. And, I've done nothing in my life, but I deserve it because it's me. And there's
I want it now.
Exactly. But the 3,000, I wouldn't be surprised if, 2,500 of them aren't, oh, this is funny, I'm going to put my name on it. Or
the names aren't even real.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. I got a better one. I'm going to slide all of my chips onto this is Phil Collins' publicist getting extra airplay. That's where I'm going to put my chips.
Want something to go viral? Make it crazy enough.
But they also say all good, every piece of PR is always good PR, whether it's, good or bad PR, it's still giving the person PR.
Sure. Yep.
I didn't know he was making a comeback until you started talking about this now. Now I know Phil Collins is making a comeback.
Well, they actually started a petition.
TMZ didn't tell me.
They actually started a petition for his comeback, and as of today, they've had between 300 and 400 people sign it. So,
oh my God,
I'd rather go to a Billy Joel concert personally.
These are the 2 things to think about. The last album Prince had out went platinum, and it never went up for sale.
Right.
If you bought a ticket to his concert, you were given a CD free for buying a ticket to his concert, and they considered that sales, and it went platinum that alone. So Phil Collins could do the same thing and have another platinum hit. if just nothing more than that. I guarantee it. Because think about the songs he's doing, his and Genesis songs. That's a lot of songs. He could play a 2-hour set and not have a single song that isn't a hit. But anyway, but also the second part of that is, I don't know if you know or not, but they started the Coachella Music Festival. They started a petition to keep Kanye West from performing at it. So these petitions are growing. These petitions are growing.
I like it. Where do I sign?
I think we should put Kanye and Phil out on tour together and watch the people in the audience fight.
We better be careful. There might be a DJ News petition happening after this.
What, to get me removed?
No.
I'm getting one to get Shaney removed.
No.
Just
I'll be removed next week. I won't be here next week.
Sorry, she's going to the Coast next week.
Sorry, I'll be producing a TED event. Sorry.
You young kids are all the same.
Is that me?
Yeah, me. I don't know which is the oldest here, but I'm not going to get into the oldest of all of us. I'm doing close. But anyways, any other comments on the Phil thing before we move on?
I don't even want to comment. I mean,
let's move on.
I'm okay with that. Next one, we are skipping because John was going to tell us about a wedding he was at. So hopefully later he'll join us because the wedding was so much of a noticeable thing, and we don't even know what was noticeable that he went out and posted about it when he was there. So that's always good. And I can always, how many of people? Let's just look at you guys. How long has it been since you've been to a wedding that you weren't DJing at?
Years and years.
A year tops, just last year.
Yeah, probably a year for me.
I think I'm like 4 years, Jeremy.
But it was a DJ's wedding, so it was, it was a DJ that got married.
Yeah, I'm going to guess and say probably 3, maybe 4 years. It's been a long time because I just can't remember the last wedding I was a guest at.
I kind of luck out. My wife's family has learned not to ask me, one, because they live like 3-4 hours away. So I get to go to all these New York City, New Jersey events. Actually, it was at one also in Cape Cod over the summer I forgot about. So it's kind of great. I get to go to all these ones and spy and learn and not actually have to feel weird about it.
Cool. Feel sorry for you. I hate weddings. Oh, do I hate weddings? More than I can tell you.
He's a club guy, everybody. He's a club guy.
I just don't even like going to them. Like, to me, hell involves vegetables, country music, weddings, and cold weather. I mean, that's,
So you're not married, eh?
Hey, what can I say? I'm lucky that way. All right, we're going to take this to the next section that has to do, again, with popularity and the amazing parts of DJing and how technology has changed us. But last year, I don't know if you guys followed the top 100 DJ voting thing. Anybody follow that?
No.
Am I the only person? Okay.
I did.
For 2 or 3 years in a row, Hardwell has won number one.
Yeah.
Well, him and Armin van Buuren just announced that, and I've seen pictures of them. They now both of those DJs have their own action figure.
Yeah.
So DJs now are so popular that they have dolls that you can
Nervo they have their own dolls too. Nervo has theirs.
Okay. I know Hubert.
You guys are saying you don't have your own action hero?
Yes,
Jeremy. Just because you bought a 3D printer and made your own doesn't count.
That's it.
What you do in DJ Jared's shop time?
I just want to know if he has G.I. Joe boots on.
He has go-go boots.
Uh-huh. I did see in Vegas where you could make your own bobblehead doll. So that's about as close as I'd get to that.
Yeah, you'd be my hero.
Just to slide off of that, just to slide off of that. If you want to see something amazing, go online and type in Barbie, the doll Barbie, and Blaine, Blaine, because in the 90s, Barbie put out a DJ doll called Blaine. Silver jacket, came with turntables, headphones, cell phone, records, everything.
MJ, did you have a Barbie doll named Blaine?
I have it because I collect DJ things. So I have Disney DJ things and everything you could imagine on the planet that's DJ oriented. I got one.
But Mom, it's a DJ doll. It's okay.
It's in the box, so it's not coming out of the box. When I get old, it's going to be sold, and then I'm going to move somewhere warm where there's no country music and no weddings. Did you ever see any of yourselves buying that? For those of you who are parents or hope to be parents, do you ever see yourself buying something like that? Who's sharing a screen? There we go.
I am.
That is not Blaine. That's
what came up when I put in Blaine Barbie doll.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
It's a dude named Blaine.
That one's Blaine with the silver jacket. That's the Blaine.
This one?
Yeah.
No, that's
there's the turntables.
Wait, we're gonna cover the picture underneath.
Yeah, I saw what happened there for a second. Yeah, but it's we're good now.
But
that's Blaine.
That's Blaine.
That apparently is Blaine. Yes.
Blaine looks like that skit from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
Skit from Saturday Night Live.
Silver jacket. Well, it was around that time actually. You know, his headphones has.
No, not the. You're not talking about the two guys with the head bop. You're talking about.
No. I'm not talking about. No. I'm talking about the new one. The EDM DJ one.
Oh, We Are Your Friends. We Are Your Friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that in queue. I haven't watched that yet, so we'll have to discuss that once I watched it. That was Blaine.
I would not spend one dime on that. You had that doll. We are so talking about you right now.
You should see the collection of stuff I have.
It?
Yeah. I have. Like I'm telling you, I have Disney collectibles that are DJ stuff. I have the cartoon character Domo. I have him doing DJ stuff. There's one out of China that I can't get, and I've been trying so hard. It is such a limited run thing. It's DJ Qbert. It's DJ Qbert as this little tiny, like he looks kind of like Cartman from
ask Qbert to get you one. Ask Qbert to get one. I'm sure he's got a million of them.
Like I'm close enough to Qbert. Like you know,
I'll ask Qbert to get one for you.
You know, I'm not Jeremy, okay, so I can't just talk to these big names like it's, the man is like a myth.
Well, that would involve you going out of your house to do it. So
hey, I leave my house more than I let on, actually, sometimes in the warm weather.
But that would involve you talking to people then.
I do talk to people, not always positive.
No, he's got his DJ dolls. What are you talking about? Now we know the real MJ now. It's MJ in his little blue dungeon with his uplights.
I am so changing his name.
I spent like $10 on that thing right there. Is that
a Lego from McDonald's Happy Meal?
It is one that you could only get if you went to the opening of the Legos movie, grand opening, and they gave it out, and it's the DJ guy from the movie Legos, and I got it. So there. And if you would like, I can have my collection of DJ things, and we could talk.
I could paint one of my sons and sell it to you for $9.
Shut up! Stop talking about me. Is that enough doll talk, or shall we?
Hang on. Can you read this?
No.
What does that? No. What does that say?
We can't read it.
Time.
It says yes. It says time, and there it goes. It was an airplane. What else you got? Dolls.
MJ dolls.
Hey! If you can come up with a better topic, feel free to.
We need Sean.
Or we can have
iceberg straight ahead. Iceberg straight ahead. We're going.
My cyber sale idea.
That's coming up.
All right.
That's coming up. We are getting there because I thought that would be kind of a cool thing.
Is anybody asking any questions on the chat?
No.
I doubt it.
No,
there's probably nobody watching.
We lost them. We lost them at the dolls.
No,
probably.
But I just think it's funny that there's that much of a market out there. That's the thing you look at.
There's a market for everything
nowadays. But you look at these kids nowadays who are dreaming to be what we do. So I mean, how do we look at what we do in that way? That people out there dream and create toys to be what we do for a living.
There's DJ toys for them, and they think they're a real DJ when they buy these little tiny toys that look like controllers.
One step at a time.
There you go. There's some support. Thank you. That's right.
Sorry, I'm just ready for the next topic because
a dude high five to Jeremy. A dude high five. Next topic is Thanksgiving. It's a big time for DJs who do like the clubs and bars and events and stuff like that. It's the beginning of the holiday season for all kinds of corporate parties and stuff like that. And to bring in and talk about that, I want you guys to talk about stuff you're doing during the holidays, stuff you're doing that's specifically holiday oriented. as a DJ, I'd like to think about songs, and I actually have a whole section in my computer called events, and there's songs to do with certain events. But I don't have any Thanksgiving songs. Are there any Thanksgiving songs?
Adam Sandler, the
Which
turkey
one?
song,
There's a turkey song,
or Thanksgiving? No, it's a Thanksgiving song.
Sing it for us.
How can you? No, how can
Sing
you
it for us.
No, how can you not know the Adam Sandler song?
I don't know.
Are you in a rock? Like, I get it.
Are you talking of Blue
How do you not know?
With your dolls?
Hey, MJ.
That's why Adam Sandler didn't make a doll.
For what it's worth, MJ, I'm looking at my computer and I do not have a Thanksgiving folder, so you're not alone.
Oh my
So
goodness.
your job is to bring us that song next week, DC.
Oh. YouTube Adam Sandler Thanksgiving song.
Is that the only song?
We can't. That would be the only one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably about the only one. But and he actually was
You're talking about the same. You're talking about the same guy that wrote the song "Sloppy Joe," didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm sorry.
Well, I
Next
didn't say
thing-
it was. I didn't say it was like gonna like.
Are you going to start a petition?
I think he. Dan, I bet you own the Glee soundtrack, don't you?
No.
Which one? Glee 1, Glee 2, Glee 3, Glee
I didn't know
7?
that.
There's really been that many Glees.
Well, every show had their own
Soundtrack.
that you could get on on iTunes.
Who in Hollywood is smoking crack?
It was one of the hottest. Trust me, at all
I
my
know.
kids' parties,
I
kids
know.
started to want the Glee versions of the songs because
I know.
that's how some of the rock songs started getting popular with the kids.
Yeah.
It was because of Glee. And then I would play the real version, and they're like, "What is this song? Who is this artist? You're not playing the Glee version." And I'm
I had a
like,
party
"Wow."
last year that I had to do that with. I had to get Glee versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Glee helped, I hate to say it, but Glee helped put some of those, feel good rock songs on the map.
That's an interesting topic right there to discuss, like on the lines of what we're talking about tonight. All these things with the new age, that's a new age of things right there. That to where, something that when like Mike was a kid, they only had stuff that was chiseled into stone. And I'm not kidding.
This Mike. Thank you.
No, things were different then. So, I mean, like, think about somebody making a remake of a song back then. How many people, how big that would not have been? I mean, like this. I mean, in this age with the internet, Mike.
Well, no, wait a second. I'm not gonna like go on Mike's age here or anything like that. But
Me? Let's go. Yeah.
I'm not going to go on Mikey's age here, but think about and let's go back a few years. You say how unusual that is. In the 50s, there would be Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett and Dean Martin. They'd all do like a version of a song, and it's very similar right now. It's happening a lot in the Christian realm where somebody will write a track or write lyrics in a song, and 4 or 5 people will cover the exact same thing, their own little spin on it.
I can tell you where that's coming
on the
from.
released on the different items. So, I think there was a time period where it kind of got away, like people got away from the idea of remix per se. But really, remix is just taking the song and putting your own spin on it, which
there's a difference between a remix and a cover.
But also, it's funny when clients say to you, "Well, I want Unforgettable, but I want the original." And I'm just saying the song Unforgettable, but they would say something like that, or I want, Ain't That a Kick in the Head, but I want the original singer.
Right.
Which one?
You know who the original singer is, but they're thinking it's somebody else because back then all those artists did all those versions of the songs. So, I know what you're talking about with that back then you had all those Rat Pack, type of, artists that sing, even the women, Ella Fitzgerald and all of them even sang all those songs too.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that I'm thankful for P. Diddy, bringing back some of those great songs.
P. Diddy, Puffy.
If it wasn't for him, he brought much mad love. Diddy for life.
Very good.
Diddy for life. Because Diddy took songs like this is a good example. I was giving a bunch of young kids a ride home from one of our youth events, and they were flipping around the radio, and it came to Donna, I'm Coming Out. And they're like, "Oh, it's Diddy," and I'm like, "No, this is the original." And they're like, "What do you mean?" So Diddy did that with almost every one of his songs. So
well, that's because all his songs, he just took tracks from all old songs. He didn't do anything.
But that's the great part about it, with this day and age.
He didn't get in trouble. Robin Thicke is the only one that got in trouble.
He paid for it. That's why. Diddy's got Diddy says, he goes, I don't write lyrics, I write checks, and that's
right.
What the man does. So, Mike, do you have anything? Mike, you're muted. So
you're muted, Mike.
Yeah, ask Vanilla Ice about writing checks for stealing tracks, sampling.
How about Milli Vanilli?
Yeah, there you go. The singers who weren't. Anyway, I was just going to say.
There's only one left.
I was just going to say, I thought a client made a mistake when they asked for My Girl by Otis Redding. I'm going, you mean The Temptations? No, Otis Redding. And it actually exists, but I had to dig it up. Believe it or not.
Did they mean the Kanye West song?
No. This was old school stuff.
Or Otis.
Is Kanye West song.
Yeah.
I got you.
There's very few people. See, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see what you're catching here because we're talking 3 generations of things happening 3 different times the same thing. So I love this.
Shani, good news.
I'm so excited. I'm very, very happy.
Yeah.
Cool.
What did I miss?
Check the chat. John's back.
I'll tell you, Jeremy. I'll tell you later.
Actually, guys, I'm okay with sharing. I have no problem.
Okay.
So I just was trying to catch the conversation of where you guys were at, so I knew where to catch in.
John.
Well,
there was an iceberg straight ahead that we were trying to avoid.
And we're waiting for you to get back to talk to us about your wedding experience.
John, we learned that MJ plays with dolls.
Then we found out that MJ plays with dolls.
And loves Glee.
And that's where the action figure thing came in.
Yeah.
And hates cowboys.
I want an action figure. I want one of my own.
And they're picking on
happy that you're back.
And they're picking on the old guy tonight for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah.
We're asking for your wisdom. That's what we're asking for.
I'm grateful to share it.
Because we're talking about, we went from the songs to not having any Thanksgiving songs to the point of where different generations, that he's doing a wedding and they'll ask for a song and then he has to clarify which
version. Yeah.
So anyways, that's where we're at. We didn't hit your wedding thing. We did not hit the Black Friday Cyber thing yet. And that's all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for starting without me tonight. I apologize for coming in late. For those of you who don't know, the situation that I've got here is that we have our house and we have our office building all on the same 5-acre plot out here. And typically, when I transfer from one to the other, I've got my dogs that come with me. Well, we're out in a rural area, and I get out here tonight. We hook up in our pre-chat time, and all of a sudden I hear right outside the door here, the office, some coyotes scrapping and fighting and screaming going on. And if you've ever heard coyotes, gang, it sounds like 2 infants or toddlers just going at each other. And I heard that right outside my door. We have a 70-pound golden retriever. Don't worry about her. I've got a 7-pound Bichon poodle, which is just a little sweetheart. And she was walking right behind me as I come in the door. So I'm freaking out thinking, oh crap. Zip outside, grabbed a flashlight on my way out, shine across this field. It's 160 acres of open land to the south of us. And I could see eyes about halfway through the field. Crap. My little pickup's right there. So jump in the truck and we go and look and such. Can't find hide nor hair. No poodle. We're done. It's all gone. So you guys started up, and we went and started going. We went with the Rangers, and I had a 4-wheeler. This is what's cool about being in a rural area, gang, is we had the neighbor farmer was out there with a shotgun. I had a Ranger 4-wheeler type thing, and another guy, neighbor with a 4-wheeler. They're all scouting the land, and all of a sudden, one of my boys was outside walking around the 5 acres with a flashlight, and here comes the poodle, who had hidden under one of our in an area that was only big enough for her little 7-pound body. She comes bounding out and jumps into his arms. We have our dog, so
she's fine.
She is fine.
This was the best 5 minutes of this entire show.
So it's been a rough day. We had to put down.
Happy.
We lost one of our 10-year-old cats, an outdoor cat that was one of the best hunting cats we've ever had. The children were kind of upset about that, and then when I went in and said, "I think coyotes have the dog," grabbed flashlights, we're going.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time. So thankfully, it turned out well. And yay! So
Yay.
I have happy children.
And it's Thanksgiving, and we're thankful.
And we have another thing to be thankful for.
Without any Thanksgiving songs.
Yeah, that's one of those things that just don't exist out there, do they?
Do you have any Thanksgiving songs, John?
There's one.
And one of the things I wanted to talk about was, in that Thanksgiving idea is that the type of events we've done. I've never played a Thanksgiving event. When we were back in college, what we used to do is we would have a Drinksgiving the Wednesday night before. And this would be a time when we would get together with friends from college, and the turkey would go on, and you would start the turkey, and you would start drinking at the same time. By the time the turkey's done at 11 o'clock at night, I mean, you'd eat the bones. I mean,
you and the turkey are basted.
Exactly.
Football? You don't play football?
So, no, it was never something that we never did the football thing over Thanksgiving, what have you. So yeah, that was my Thanksgiving. I've never done a show really over Thanksgiving, and yet MJ, you were talking the other day that Thanksgiving is a big night in the bar scene.
Yeah, two statistics. We'll go to you, Shane, in just a second here. The two statistics I want to throw out there, bud, is that more people go out Thanksgiving Eve than New Year's Eve, and there are more drunk driving accidents Thanksgiving Eve than New Year's Eve.
Crazy.
Cheney?
The girl? The girl. Yeah, I'm the girl. Just so you know, John, I'm the girl.
I guess. Wow, I leave and you get labels all of a sudden.
Yeah, everybody has a label now. Wednesday night, we do the Wednesday night parties because nobody has to work Thursday. So in the club scene, there's the Wednesday night parties, and then of course, then you have the Thanksgiving night party after you stuff your face. You say, come on party after you eat turkey. And then, of course, then you do the Black Friday party because, everybody wants to party. And then the whole entire weekend, all the college kids are home and everybody's back. So you have everybody home, everybody ready to party. So in the club scene, in the bar scene, they say that this is the biggest party weekend. It's also the biggest weekend to get speeding tickets and
all the nasty stuff that goes with drinking.
All that stuff as well, right? Yeah. But it's the biggest part. I mean, I still have real, events too. Like we're still doing mitzvahs this weekend.
Wow.
I still have weddings going on.
The Jews don't take off for Thanksgiving. They eat turkey.
And they just keep rolling.
They're still Jewish, after sundown.
Is that my Pioneer DJ behind you? The DGJRZ? Is that mine in the box?
Oh, it's very interesting. I just got that. I could tell the story behind that in a second. I actually just got that today because I'm part of the Pioneer team that's testing that and giving feedback with the whole record box. So I literally just got that as soon as I walked in the house, and I didn't even unpack it because I wanted to get on the video feed. So yes, I just got it. I know.
Yeah.
Live
Thanksgiving presents, and she doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. So as you know, Pioneer just came out with the new record box and everything. So they're trying to show people that Serato is not the only thing out there. Besides virtual DJ, that Pioneer can do an all-in-one.
You, Mikey, my MJ.
I'm laughing because I'm keeping an eye on the chat too, and Jose is on there, and he said that we look like the Brady Bunch, and he said Danny is Alice, and then he said I'm Marsha.
At least you're Marsha.
I feel more like, what was the one that always complained, the middle child? Jan. No.
Yeah. Jan was middle girl.
Marsha.
That's Jan. Wonder why I'm Alice.
People like me.
That is not a compliment that I'm Alice.
It's all right. He called John Mrs. Brady, so.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Jose.
I take offense to that. Happy Thanksgiving, but I take offense to that. But yeah, so for Thanksgiving, we still do events, but I actually do a charity event that I personally do every year, and it's for the Boys and Girls Club here in Chicago. And it's a really great event that I do, and I actually love it. And it's inner city kids off the street, and they give them the Thanksgiving meal, and it's actually like a lunchtime type event, but for them it's dinner. And we provide music and dancing and just like a big party for them. And they get some gifts, and all the gifts that they get, it's kind of like a Christmas thing, but for Thanksgiving, and the gifts they get are all like warm clothes, because some of them come from like broken down families, or maybe some of them really don't have good families. And it's just a really great feeling. Afterwards, they come over, they hug us, they thank us. And some of them, some of them are in gangs. Some of them, they're trying to keep them out of the gangs. Some of them are little kids. Some of them are teenagers. Some of them are older kids that I've been seeing throughout the years. And it's just a really great event that I just love doing. I don't get paid for it. I don't want to get paid for it. Every year they try to ask, can we give you something? And for an event like this, I don't want anything. It's just, I love seeing that this is something that they say to the kids, you can only go to this if you stay in school and you get good grades and you don't get in trouble. And because they do that for the kids, then I say, I'm doing this for free for you guys. And it's just a great event.
And that's very cool. And Shane, one of the things, of course, the idea that you're not taking a payment for that, I've done similar things and I've done a similar method with not taking payment, because to a point, I think I almost feel if I would be taking a partial payment, I don't know, I feel better about performing at completely free, that I can go out there and I can give them that $2,000, $3,000 show with all of the bells and whistles, rather than taking a smaller payment. And now all of a sudden, there's a small part in my subconscious that's probably not going to do a $3,000 show if I'm only getting paid $500, as an example.
Right.
That's funny you guys bring that up. I actually turned one down today because they wanted to, it was a specialty event and they had a very small budget, and I said no. So when you brought that up, that was kind of an interesting thing to face that, how many of you guys do the events for free? I know my tax guy tells me that if I want to do it as a write-off, I actually have to go to them and say that, this is what I'm going to do. And they have to give me a piece of paper saying that it's worth this much and that to do the write-off. So it's partially, John, I have to agree with you. It's a pain to go through something like that. If you're going to do it as a write-off, or just go do it for free. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
While we're on the topic, I kind of went the same route, and my advice, or the advice from my accountant, was a little bit different than yours. They basically said you need to have them give you money, and then you can turn around and donate it. And
that was another way he told me. Yeah, you could do it either way. Yeah.
And and I kind of broached that with a couple of the organizations that came to me. Actually, I guess it was just the one that really kind of came to me on that, and it ended up almost being a little bit of a hassle, almost being a little bit not worth it. What I think is the big difference is, especially comparing like what you ran into, somebody came to you, asked you to do it. We have limited budget. We all get those emails. We all get those phone calls.
Right.
Sure. Versus say Shaney's, she's seen this organization. She believes in it. She understands what they're doing. If my heart's in it, I'm not going to go through the hoops for the write-off because I believe in it and I want to see it succeed and I want to do everything I can to make it succeed. That's going to be more important to me. I think having that backup plan, or having that plan in place for, the 20 calls that you might get when you might have an off weekend, and you can, let's use this to its advantage. Let's help everybody out. And, that, I think it makes it a little bit different, but I agree kind of with what John's saying. It's better for you. It's better in the end for you to go about it as free than to partial payment. And I'll use this story that I've heard. I think Ed Spencer, he keeps coming to my mind with this, where he said, if I do it for free, I'm insert your price point here, DJ, doing it for free, giving this gift. Then if I discount it, because then let's say we discount to $500, I'm a $500 DJ who's now trying to get more for my regular event.
I don't agree with all of that. I mean, it's Ed's, it's psychology, and you can juggle those things. And I have the utmost respect for Ed. I love him to death. But I just disagree with that particular mindset. Your value for your services are your value. And if you discount it, it doesn't make your value less. It just means it's a discount. And, just like a coupon or anything else, the product that you bought doesn't become cheaper. It just, you paid less because of a discounted coupon. Anyway, I wanted to.
And Mike, let me. That's a great point. And I, in the front of my head, I agree, and that's exactly what it works. But I find myself in those times where I'm doing a discounted show, when I've quoted a discounted price for whatever reason. I find myself at a point in time, as I'm evaluating what I did for the show or what I'm doing, it's like, gosh, I could have done that so much better. But there's just this nagging little part of me that's just doesn't. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my personality and such. But I know I don't deliver the same way, and I don't understand why that is, but it's my character flaw.
Jeremy was going to say something there. Good. Did you want to?
Yeah, there's two things. I always kind of wonder how far you really get ahead by discounting your price to zero or, crossing it off, because you still have to include that income as income. And then when you have it as a donation, are you really winning? And when it comes to the books, the other thing, and this could be like a whole nother night, which I might put it on the discussion topics. The one thing I can't stand, and this happens so much in my area, where like a DJ will say, yeah, I'm $3,000, but you're booking on a Thursday, so I'll give you the Thursday discount. I did a friend's wedding of yours, so I'll give you another $300 off. And then by the time they're all said and done, they're booking at like $1,200. And these people are like, oh my gosh, I got a $3,000 DJ for $1,200. That's one thing that just like torques me off, is when people discount and discount and discount. Just mark your price at $1,200 and call it good. You're probably going to book more that way.
Yeah.
Marketing. Mike, go ahead.
I just want to throw out a quick formula that I use. If someone calls me to provide services for their quote unquote charitable event, I offer my services at 50% off, straight up what my normal price would be for that day, 50% off. And then the 5th year is free, and they can renew that cycle as long as they like. And so 4 years, half price, the 5th year, completely free. And then we roll over all over again. I personally go out and try to find one event that I want to donate my services to as a one-time service to that particular organization. You can't have it again. If you want me back, you'll have to pay. But I go seek something that I want to donate my time to, and I'm not worried about books. I'm not worried about profit. Just write it off and go.
Yeah, in the chat, Jose brought up a thing there. He says national organizations have millions but don't have enough money to pay the talent. My ex-booking agent used to talk about that he knew how much these organizations had in their budget for the talent. And you go in there and go, I'm going to give you a discount. They had already allotted in their budget for that event for you as a DJ, probably twice as much as you're going to charge. So it's interesting. It's an interesting topic. I turned it down. So I don't know. I'm okay with that. I say no to a lot of gigs, not just nonprofit. There's bar gigs that I'll go, nope, don't want to work there.
So, John, what about your wedding?
Yeah, well, this past weekend, I had an unusual wedding from the standpoint that it was one. I do a lot of the planning and prep and creating and doing a lot of different things with the weddings, and I've got usually the story of the 20 to 50 hours of time before weddings. Well, there's some weddings, most of my weddings are in closer to that range than what I did. This weekend was less than for prep and such than that. But this particular wedding, I did a couple of things that I took and was kind of reminded when I was going with Mike. I got Mike Walter's DVD. You can go out to djmikewalter.com, but his newest DVD, and in that DVD, it talked about crowd prompting. And really one of the things I wanted to do with this wedding is I've been jumping on the audiences quicker by, hitting them harder with some of the real hit music early in the night to get them engaged and get them involved, rather than, and I even mentioned this in the live thing we did 15 years ago, we would play, an oldie set, and then we'd play maybe a country set, and then maybe play a couple of polkas and waltzes, and kind of work around the genres and try to, touch a little bit for everyone in the room. Well, I've been getting away from that the last few and really doing it. This particular wedding, we started out, we did the first dance and father-daughter and mother-son dance. And then it's like, okay, now how do I, we open the floor. A lot of us like to use like a disco song or something like that. Well, this particular bride was a little bit outgoing. She had a very large crowd, and it's like, you know what? We're going to go right to it. We went into, we did a slow dance to get all the couples out on the dance floor with the bride and groom. So Alex and Jackie were out on the floor, and I invited all the couples, and, gentlemen, if your lady looks as good tonight as she did when you first met her, you need to bring her out on the dance floor. And of course that, go ahead, Jeremy, roll your eyes at that cheesy.
Sorry.
It's a great, and the thing is, when I do that line, I get up and I'm on the
so
stage
good.
in the lights, and I say it just as cheesy as I possibly can, because it makes.
I can tell.
And people is like, hee, hee, hee. And then the ladies are grabbing him by the ear and dragging him out on the floor. So we do that, and that gets a nice crowd on the dance floor. We go right into I Knew the Bride. I've never played I Knew the Bride that quick at a wedding before. Usually that's something that's done a little bit later. It was like just to hit them, and I don't remember exactly what Mike Walter uses for the terminology of that. And I apologize, Mike, for not remembering it. I remembered it Saturday, but truthfully, this evening I'm at a loss for what that was called. But really, the pumping of the crowd and hitting them super, super hard early. And in that first 45 minutes, I crapped through what would have been the anchor song of many DJ sets because I was doing these back to back to back. The cool part about it was yes, I ruined some sets for later, but the crowd, by the time we were done with that set, they were so, that this is the greatest party ever. Oh my gosh. Later in the night, as things have progressed, you could play some of those, those B category songs that aren't the ones that will pull them out. They're not the hooks, but they were, the people were just, it really became one of those things that I could do no wrong, for a lot of these people, oh my God, this is the greatest song ever. I don't know what it is, but it's awesome. You were getting some of that going on. So that whole idea of hitting it and hitting it hard, then during those early was a big part. And then the other aspect that Mike talks about is that pumping of the crowd and using the, getting on the microphone during songs and encouraging, getting them a little hyped up. And I did that intentionally for the first 4 songs. Generally, I might do one of the 4 or maybe 2, but during the I Knew the Bride and working with the crowd a little bit and having people and woo, cheer for Jackie kind of things. Then I did the Village YMCA, which I have kind of a routine thing that we do with that. We did another disco song, which is one where we were setting up another, and then the 4th song was I do a Don't Stop Believing, but I've got the words over that go up on the screen, so it's a sing along. And then that whole kind of prompting and working with the crowd and such for those first 4 songs. When I was done with that 4th song, again, these people were like, they would have followed the music anywhere. I mean, we could have hotted them right out into the street and they would have done it. It was just one of those things that, using those tools that Mike refers to in his DVD, where it just worked. And again, there's a lot of things that I've done over the years, but sometimes you start to forget about, how to do, how you approach things, especially when you don't do as many weddings as I used to. And it was kind of cool to be able to be reminded and then to implement these things and to really see that does work. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
I had a question that I actually wrote down when you said you were going to talk about the wedding because I didn't know where you were going to go with this.
Yeah.
And it's perfect with what you just said. Me, and I can only speak for me, and this is I want to ask each of you your thoughts and then your thoughts about other people's thoughts. But the question is, and I'll take it from my point of view, there isn't a wedding that I've been to in my entire life that I vaguely even remember the DJ doing a good job, bad job, nothing. Do people really remember us afterwards or not? Because I literally, if you said, I'm going to put a gun to your head, you have to tell me about a DJ you saw at a wedding, there's not one that I could tell you that I remembered. Do people?
That might explain why you hate weddings.
Yes,
I say that. I say that in some joke and in some seriousness. Yeah, I can think of a handful of DJs. To be honest with you, not many local. Nothing against my local guys, but that's growing up. I didn't go to a whole lot, but when I did, I'm like, okay, I kind of remember this or I remember that, but not much. I remember some of the other ones, but I think it also comes down to what your experience. But I also know, case of when I talked about my wife's family and how I keep getting invited to these weddings, they keep hiring the same guy, because he stands out and he does an awesome job. And there are things I hate about it, but that's my own personal side to it, because I know some things that he does that I just want to go, what are you doing? But no, he stands out. Sorry.
I think the thing is, because everybody expects a DJ to play music, but it's what you do beyond the music that makes you stand out to everybody else. So, like as an MC, what if I'm doing an introduction that just blows people away? They might not remember my name, but they'll remember that moment that I created, and they can always go back and say, "Oh, I remember this DJ did this." So it's not always about and nothing against the club mixing and stuff that happens during weddings. I know Shani, you kind of get the mixing going and things like that. Not that people don't recognize that. It definitely creates a party and makes the fun energy. But like you said, at the end of the night, is that what people remember out of what we do that entire evening? No, it might be that special moment we created for an introduction or the way we presented a toast.
That's what I meant, was like anything. Because like for me, talking about a wedding DJ, you have to be able to do everything. You know,
but
but that's what I'm saying is all of that. I don't remember anything any DJ has spoken, said, or done. I mean, do we get forgotten that easily?
I think it also
bad weddings.
Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks. I was just going to say, I don't know how many weddings you've actually attended, but I could reverse this on you and say, I've been to a handful of clubs and none of those DJs jump out at me, but I haven't heard you play. I think a lot of this depends on the skill set of the person that you've witnessed. And until you've seen somebody who's really good or really bad, everybody just seems mediocre. And when you see one that's on one of the bookend extremes, then it becomes apparent, I think. But I'm going to go with the vote of yes. People do remember, maybe, as Jeremy said, not by name, but I've got people who are still contacting me from weddings that I did years ago who are reaching out to the family or the bride and groom to get my contact information to follow up and find out if I'm available for their wedding. So obviously it makes the difference. But again, one more quick point. The better I get at this, the less you're going to remember me, because it's not about me. It's about creating those moments. And that's what I'm after. I'm not after personal fame.
I think it also depends upon, whether we remembered or not.
Sorry.
Okay.
Wow. I thought it was I was waiting for the booze to come in, like, boo!
We're recalling his doll. His dog just got recalled. No more dolls for Jeremy.
No, I think it also depends upon what you run into. For case in point, if I'm in an area where everybody's doing high energy, great emceeing, I might remember them, but they're not going to stand out. I'm going to remember they do a good job, and that's probably about the extent. I'm going to remember I had a fun time. I'm probably not going to remember, I remember this setup or this, what the guy kind of maybe looked like, so I can track him down later or something like that. But I think, if you're in a town of all mediocre, suddenly you have somebody that steps up and mixing, you're going to remember, or they're going to, I stayed on the floor. I didn't have to pause for a second while I waited for the next song. Or, if you have somebody that's an MC, man, he was right there with us and he was really getting us, going. You remember those things because of what's different from what you've always run into. Yeah.
And that definitely makes sense. One of the, I was actually thinking about that, especially the will people remember? And I've got this theory with Midwest weddings. I call it my 8-hour theory, and I talk about this when I'm meeting with couples and such, when they're planning out the schedule of the day. That most people, because 8 hours is a full shift, most people will handle a wedding like an 8-hour work day. From about the time they arrive at the church, they'll give you 8 hours of their day in the Midwest, because of we having the church and then 2 hours later dinner and then 2 hours later dance is typically how a Midwest wedding goes. They'll give you 8 hours. So in my particular case, Saturday night, church was at 2:30 was the service. So you go from 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and that becomes the 8-hour shift. And I told the manager when I talked to him, it's like, yeah, I expect about 10 o'clock, no matter how good I am, that these people will start to leave. And that's exactly what happens, no matter how good it is. The interesting part, getting back to will they remember me, the people who left between 10 and 11 o'clock were talking about what an awesome job I was doing and how great the DJ was, and they were telling the banquet managers that are leaving how this is the best dance we've ever been to. The people who were there until the very end were either intoxicated enough or whatever that they had no idea. They knew I did a pretty decent job, but they were so blitzed out of their mind that they probably had no idea what type of job I did. And I think that's going to be a telltale sign of as DJs, that we can really, no matter how good we are, it's really, there's external factors, whether it's alcohol or what happened to the person that day, that can change the perception of the event so much that it's really tough and to have that consistent referral base, because things can happen. I lost everybody.
Wow. No, we're here. That just, what do you follow it up with? Yeah. That, like I said, that was just something that went through my head. Because like I said, I'm not saying the club DJ is better. I'm just talking in general. Do people remember us? Because in that day, there's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we
think about how much effort and thought we put into lighting and sound and all this stuff. And for just a thought. We're not going to be remembered unless we're dolls.
And Jose just made a good point in the chat there that do we remember every wedding or every event we've done? I mean, I'm sure MJ you do because you've got that mind like a steel trap. But
it's painful that way.
I can barely remember. I remember my bride and groom from this past weekend, but I hate to say it. In a month, I'll probably forget their names, and in 6 months, she'll change her hair and he'll grow a beard, and I'll Jackie and Alex will be. I'll probably not remember. Although Jackie was a fun bride to work with, so I'll probably remember that a little longer. But yeah, unfortunately. It all blurs together.
Let's wait for the weddings. I always said that I call them my 5-hour friends if I ever did a wedding, because for those 5 hours, you have to be that person's best friend. And I think that's maybe why, with them and all the party and their cousins throw their arm around you. Oh, yeah, I love you, man. And I think maybe that's why I don't like it.
I have a confession to make. I actually had somebody call me just the other day, was talking to me about their wedding. Or about a wedding coming up, and they're like, "Oh, you did my friend or my cousin's wedding, something like that." And I was like, "Okay." And they gave me the name, and it's like kind of sounded familiar, but I wasn't quite sure. And they're like, "Oh, but their pictures on your website." And even at that, I'm still like thinking of the other weddings on my website, go like on my front page, mind you, not like buried in like some blog. It was like on my front page. And I'm like, yeah, oh, okay. As soon as I got home and brought up my webpage, I saw the picture, and it instantly clicked. This is actually a wedding that I thought when I think back about it, I remember the details, but on a call, the spur of a moment, I had no clue, none whatsoever. and what was sad was I also remember that night, my biggest tip I ever got, because the parents decided to try and out tip each other. So
woohoo, score for the DJ.
It was
real, man. That's when the money comes, that's when you know.
Oh.
I had a guy one time no kidding, wanted to hear a song, gave me two $1 bills. He goes, "Here, man, this is for you. I know money talks." I'm looking at two $1 bills going, it ain't talking very loud, bro.
It's like,
great mini topic right here. Let's do this one. Let's go around all of us here. And Anthony, I don't know if you'll be able to participate with this one, maybe not, but your weirdest tip, the $2 bill. Either your biggest tip or we need a 30-second tip story. Let's see, MJ, you're in the upper left corner, so let's start with you.
I would say the $2 tip, because the funniest part about that was I posted right away about that, and then the next person, because I posted a picture of the $2 sitting there, I had like 5 other DJs do the same thing. This must be the $2 tip night, because I got one, and somebody else posted, well, I got one, and I got one, and I'm like, what the heck?
cheap is out tonight.
So
Shani.
Yes, wow.
I don't talk about my tips.
Oh, come on now. You got to have a good story in there.
Shut up, Shani. Talk about it, woman.
Or the biggest amount you've ever gotten. What's the biggest amount?
That's what I'm saying. I don't talk about my tips.
See, size doesn't matter.
That means she doesn't get any. That's what that means.
It either she doesn't get any or she doesn't report them in her IRS.
It means it means I don't post stuff about that. I don't hold the money up, and I don't out, and I don't on social media talk about I got this. First of all, I don't like talking about that stuff on social media. That's one thing about it. I don't talk about that kind of stuff on social media, that I got this big tip and I this and I that. I mean, I'll talk about it in our office, and I'll say stuff outside the office. I don't talk about that kind of stuff.
I don't either.
Here, I don't mind just saying yes. Have there been tips that I'm like, I'd rather not get the tip than you hand me $5 at the end of an event? Like, I don't know if this was a joke and you thought it was a $50 bill, but yeah, I mean, I've gotten some big tips. I've gotten some very big tips, and I just don't talk about it. It is what it is. I mean, I'm very happy, and those are great, clients. I've gotten some great bottles of alcohol from clients too, that are, nice, that are still sitting in my, in my cabinet, opening up for a great occasion, stuff like that, and some other great tips that I've gotten from, clients. I've gotten a nice, Burberry, purse from a client, from a woman that, gave me a purse and a scarf and things like that. But I just, as far as the money goes, I really don't like to talk about that kind of stuff. It's just not something that I personally like to talk about. But I've gotten like I said, like you got $2. Like I got like a $5 bill after an event, and I was kind of like,
I would definitely tweet if someone tipped me a purse.
Money. I mean, for me, she was like, I saw this and this, I went to Neiman Marcus and I saw this and I thought of you, and I'm not going to say no.
MJ, don't you need a purse for Blaine?
John missed all of that.
I did.
I still have the Burberry purse. If he wants to put it with the dolls, I'll be more than happy to get the purse with the dolls.
Okay, that'll be another set enhancer. Mike, let's continue on with you, man. What's your tip story?
A couple of $100 is the biggest I've ever gotten. I mean, unless I'm doing a bar gig or something, I don't usually get the, here's $1 or $2, play my song.
Yeah.
So, and because mostly what I do is weddings. And so I usually end up with either nothing or a nice big one at the end of the night, nice big tip. So it goes both ways. And I find that as my rates go up, the tips become less. I don't remember if it's a Randy Bartlett or Peter Murray or one of those guys, but I don't expect it. So it truly does catch me by surprise when it happens.
Dan, what do you got?
Well, I think when it comes to the weirdest tip, it was basically the story that I just relayed. When I had one parent came up and gave me the tip, and I'm taking my stuff out, and all of a sudden the other side, I think at this time was the bride's parents, came up and they're like, we heard so and so gave you some, and we want to make sure we send you off with some as well. And I'm just like, you guys don't need to do this. Thank you very much, but and they're like, no, we insist. You did a great job, and they were so happy. And to be honest with you, a lot of times when I have somebody come up and try and tip me, like somebody at the event, not necessarily somebody official at the event, I'll just be like, go put it in a card, go give it to the bride and groom, go give it to the bartender, and they're like, no, we want to give it to you. No, I'm making enough tonight. Take care of them. We're here about them, and I rarely get tips as it is. It's just one of those things that's, I don't know, it's not very custom where I've been, and it's not very custom, or at least for me, to receive. Take that for whatever it means. But a lot of times when it gets offered, I decline, offer, and a lot of times I'll watch them. They'll go over and they'll give it to, so-and-so. But
nice.
My weirdest, like I said, would be the two sides competing each other, who's going to give the most money. It was a nice night. It was a very nice night to leave. But
okay, I've got a couple of them here, and I was the house DJ at a Holiday Inn, which had a little supper club in there, and it was we'd get 50 to 100 people on a given night. And one night we had a guy that was trying to hit on a local gal that was up at the bar, because there was a few local gals who'd always come in, and this guy from out of town wanted to impress her, so he came up and he pulls out a Ben Franklin and he's like, "Hey, you got this song? I bet you don't, but if you've got this song, that woman up there is going to, and here's $100 for you if you can play that song next." Well, I'm a huge music collector, and he hit me right in my wheelhouse. Oh yeah, here we go. Do you want all of Inagata Vida? He puts $100 down, plays the song. The gal, halfway through the song, looks back at the DJ booth and walks out. She's gone for the night. I thought it was very, very funny. The other one was again, this was early when I was doing the bar there. And a guy came up there and he's like, "Hey, can you play a song for me?" And he's like, "I got $100 here." And he fans and he pulls out and he's got 5 bills and he's got a 20 on the outside. And of course, me being naive, thinking, "Ooh, he's got $100 there." And he's like, "I got these 2 songs. I need you to play these next, and this is yours." And he sets that fold over wad on the table. The 2 songs get played. And then he's like, "Thanks, man. You earned that $100." And then he and his girl went off. So I opened it up. It's a 20 on the outside. Single, 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 single. So it was a $24 tip instead of the 100. So it almost went back to that idea, like Shaney said with the $5. Did he think that it was actually the 520s and he gave me the singles, or did he intend to basically hose me on the deal? I almost think that he was mistaken, because why would he have made such an effort to turn around and say that, when I could have yelled, "You cheap ass, that was $24" in front of the girl.
Do you say something? Like, do you want to say, like,
well, I was stupid and I didn't look. I just basically sat a CD, on it. So again, CD there, I'm dating that. Sat a CD on it so it wouldn't blow away, because, I wanted to kind of leave it there until I did the job and earned it by playing those 2 songs. And I should have looked at it right away and said, "Get!" But I wasn't that way. So.
You know what? You're gonna when I did the bar stuff and that, you come up to me, you ask for something nice, you ask for something smart, you know, I'm going to play it 10 times over, you giving me, you know, $5, $10. I almost feel like I don't want to say insulted, but insulted with it, whether it was some large amount, like you owe me this, like here, you think you can buy me, so you play something, you throw something large down, or, you know, here's a couple bucks to play a song, even if it was something I was probably going to play anyway. It just kind of felt like, okay, are you being cheap, or is this like really nice because a jukebox is only going to cost you, you know, 50 cents for the song?
Yeah, I tell people money is not going to get you the song. If it's a stupid song, I'm going to tell you it's a stupid song, and I'm not going to play it.
What gets you the song, MJ?
If I want to play it. Like we had, like, I don't know if you know who Jurassic 5 is. You probably know, Shelley. Somebody come up and requested Jurassic 5 one night, and I'm like, absolutely. That is and I actually posted best request ever. So.
And see, I would be busy playing our Midwest version of I Knew the Bride When She Used to Rock and Roll from Nick Lowe.
Thank you for filling that in, John, because I still, even with Jeremy helping me, I had no clue.
I'm surprised you guys aren't familiar with where that song comes from. Jeremy, we're going to wrap things up with you as our last one. Do you have a tip story for us?
I don't know if I really have a awesome tip story. You know, it's one of those things when as the business owner, when people ask, you know, should we tip our DJ? When I have my guys going out, I always tell them, you know, a tip isn't something that we charge, or it's not expected. It's always appreciated, but again, it's never expected. So I'm not big on, I guess I'm like Shani. I don't like to sit there and flaunt, hey, this was my big tip. Have I had good tips before? Absolutely. But
how about anything weird?
Yeah, the bar ones are the fun ones to talk about. The wedding tips, I don't want to talk about those, but the bar ones, there's some weird crap that's.
Yeah, the bar ones, there's weird.
Especially if karaoke is involved.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I've gotten offers. I've gotten tip offers that I've rejected that I will not talk about here. Let's just say that.
Yep.
I have rejected them. I'm telling you, I don't. It's not my.
I've heard of those, but I've never personally experienced that.
That's right. I now you see, MJ, you're just bringing up a whole new part of that repressed memories.
It's a whole other world. See,
I blocked those.
It's funny. Those are the tips that I don't remember because I couldn't tell you like when it happened or where. Actually, I probably could. But like I told you, that $2 tip, I think it's stuck in my head, not because I've had zillions of people tip me $2, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But the fact that I posted it, and then we had like everybody going, yeah, I got a $2. So maybe it's a common thing. I don't know.
Do you ever get tipped?
What is the going rate?
The client says like, "Oh, go take some. You know, there's plenty of food to take home. If you want to grab some food, just you did such a great job. Grab some food."
Perfect example.
That my tip.
Yes. No, but see, I'm okay with that because I'm a bachelor, so I don't cook. I did a graduation party a few years ago, and they're like, how much would it cost to get you to stay longer? And I said, send me home with some food and I'll stay. And they did. And I was perfectly okay with that. They sent me home with all kinds of pasta and chicken. And I'm like, I'll stay for that.
Score.
Yeah, you need to come to the school parties by me, the little
I work for food.
After like 9 o'clock, they'll say, go in the cafeteria and take all the extra pizzas home. And I just send it with my tech guys, the little college tech guys. I'm like, go, and they'll walk out with like 4 like big pizzas. They're like excited. They're like, yeah, we get to take these. And I'm like, I take them.
So John.
Yeah.
Oh, we're frozen.
Are you guys all frozen?
I don't feel frozen.
Yeah,
no, I think just Mike.
Just Mike, you're frozen.
Like the movie Frozen.
But guys, we need to wrap up here. We're over, a little over an hour in, so we'll wrap things up.
I have a thing, John. I want to throw it out here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You end the show. Next week's homework, since it is Cyber Monday, we were going to do it this week and didn't get to it. But think about 2 things that you would buy if money was not an option for DJ wise. DJ things you would buy, for yourself if money wasn't an option for Cyber Monday next week. Homework.
I think we can.
We should do it on Sunday. That way, maybe some of the vendors can give it to us Monday.
They can maybe send them out.
No, are we on that one? Come on.
Yeah, no, we don't have quite enough pull for that yet. Next Monday, we'll also be doing the first night of the 12-day. No, excuse me. It'll be our pre 12 Days of Christmas drawing because we'll be on the 30th next Monday. We've got 12 days of drawings. We've got a variety of different sponsors who are going to be doing that. We're going to be starting drawing. So not Monday, but the week after that Monday, we'll be doing a live drawing and giving away one of the mid-level prizes, like a $500 or $600 prize on the show afterwards. So today, I think we had close to 1,000 people sign up for the drawing already. So we'll put links in the description down below so you guys can go and sign up and do that.
December the 7th, John. December the 7th is the drawing date.
That'll be the drawing date. So night 7. So yeah, that's going to put us into that upper level. And our grand prize, I think when we totaled the price of the grand prize our last night, that is going to be close to was it $2,900 value of that prize for that night. So pretty cool stuff. Otherwise, gang, I want to take a picture so everyone look at the camera and smile so I can get our thumbnail so we can look good. Here we go.
There we go.
We can't do anything. Yeah, it looks good. So anything else we missed? Otherwise, we're going to wrap up.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, thank you guys for watching.
Gobble, gobble.
We'll see you guys
Happy Thanksgiving.
Next Monday night, 7:30, same time at Disc Jockey News Slot.
8:30 Eastern, because that's the only time that matters.
No girl next week. Oh, well, we'll.
She'll be running a TED event. Sorry.
You'll be doing an awesome time, and we'll get to catch up the following week. But 8:30 Eastern time next Monday night at discjockeynews.com/live. That's where you're going to find the show all the time. So if you ever wonder, just go to discjockeynews.com/live and it'll bring you right to this YouTube screen that week's show. So once again, this is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and the whole team. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Come again.